Here we go. I shall say hi.
See the prince to Altisius if it's the last thing we see.
Yeah, what he said. Hate to break this up, but Core's got the motor ready. Drados, isn't your...
You know, guys, I'm actually doing a book reading series. You guys like.
You guys are killing me.
You'd rather I kill you with mine?
Easy there, tough guy.
Any luck?
Only a busy signal.
Hold the phone. Is it just me? Or was it supposed to be way closer?
I assure you, the map is correct.
The map said Hammerhead was right there.
Literally next door.
Looks that way, on a map of the world.
The world's a big old place.
Filled with wonders.
Tell that to my legs.
You guys even pushing?
Hard as I can.
With everything I've got,
Oh, look, they're all turning. That was really well done. Oh, how do they do that? Oh my god, they're all following me around.
Hey there, y'all kept the girl waiting. Now, which one's the prince? Aha! Hello, your highness. Congrats on your wedding.
not hitched just yet.
Lady Lunafrey's groom to be here in Hammerhead.
Apologies for taking so long.
I kind of missed it, guys. Sorry about that. I needed you and you are here. I thought those were good bets.
Y'all ain't never been out this way before, have ya? Go on, have a look around. This'll make sure y'all don't get lost.
Slowly, slowly, I can't leave anymore. I can't face it. I can't go back.
Might as well make good use of the extra time.
I will save it, but sorry. Clearly, the other feature is kind of like loud and reading the other one. I want to read everything, but I mean, it's so dark. Oh, man. Okay. Oh my days. Okay, I can't move. I literally like that. Oh my god! Oh my, wait. Oh, that's on the bottom.
Whoa! They got everything out here. Oh, Ignis is gonna flip. Wait, what's a kill? I got a feeling our money's no good here, Noct.
Bet you Ignis came prepared, though. Let's ask him.
Enough for room and board.
After his son's accident, I never imagined the old man.
I can't leave now, but not now. And then we were here, we were right in front of us. Oh, three. I'll go back. I'll face it.
Much obliged.
And that was just the red and blue. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Funds on repairs. I suggest we confer with Cindy.
Broken down and flat broke.
Adding insult to injury.
Old man's in for both after charging us that much.
Yeah, let's pay him a visit.
Oh, okay, we're fighting. Let me get my bar. Oh, okay, get away. Get out of here. I didn't know I'd be fighting anyone.
She ain't gonna be ready for a while. Y'all need something?
Try and get rid of these quickly. Wow, that was the coolest battle I've ever had. Like, in terms of
We're strapped for cash. Any way we could earn a little?
Oh, now I get it. This must be what Papa meant when he said he was gonna teach them boys a lesson. Told me he ought to have y'all take care of some ornery varmints that have been causing a ruckus around here. I'd be happy to pay y'all for your services if you're up to the challenge. How about it?
Old man's got his eye on you, Knocked. Show him what you got.
But don't go running around after dark. The demons are liable to rip y'all to shreds. Here, this ought to be enough for a place to stay. Just between us, though. Don't tell Papa.
Yep, that's not that much, is it? Ow. Skeletons are very weak to be very strong. Please don't attack me. Maybe I should keep my weapon out.
Looks like we found our first targets. Ready, Knock?
What can I say?
Excellent. On we go.
Oh my god, I got more fun than that water. That's so good. Oh, hello. Sorry if I'm kind of I need to take time to make sure.
They're gonna know what hit 'em. Let's do this.
Oh god! That's actually exciting now.
Best offense is good defense.
We got some real chemistry here. Same page. Didn't mean to do that.
Stay there!
All right. We'll be done in no time.
Let's get on with it.
Wow, that's really cool. I love how they jumped that.
So, where are we headed anyway?
Nowhere until the repairs are done. Then we head for Golden Key.
Then after that, we hop a boat, and before you know it, Loverboy's hitched.
Wait for car repairs, then wedding bells in the air. Got it.
Hello, we just want to say hi.
could this be? Hello?
Hey, it's Cindy. How goes the hunting?
Actually, we just finished.
That's great, because I got one more hunt for y'all. Only this time, it's for a person. Fella named Jade went off. We ain't heard from him since. Reckon he staked out a spot in an old shack nearby.
Old shack. Oh, got it. I'll take a look.
That's the sneaker time. They're pretty tiny.
So, what did Cindy say?
He needs us to find some Dave guy.
Hey, he went missing?
Not missing. Said he's holed up in that shack. What's this?
Get out of here! You okay?
We are now.
It's too soon. I'm going all out.
Just over. Let's clean him up quick.
Man over here as fast as I can. Farewell.
Where'd you learn that one,
Hey, leave me alone, man.
Hey, what about the shack over there?
Oh my god. That was skeleton. You get rough.
Not yet. Got a plan.
What are we looking at?
This creature is known as a saber-tusk. It skewers prey with its tusks, extracting game from the safety and comfort of burrows.
That's a bit heartless.
Don't think of it.
Right there!
Oh my god, it's fucking bad.
Was that perfect or what?
I'll give you that.
Hey,
Whoa, what the hell?
well, and look who's in here. The man of the hour. Dave, right? Been looking for you.
Oh my god.
Didn't mean to cause you any trouble. I've been stuck here in a kind of a sprained ankle. Yeah, something funny about it. I gave him hell, but couldn't finish the job. Still one mean mutt about. Well, y'all don't look much like hunters, but what do you say? Put that puppy to rest for me? Oh, sounds too dangerous to be let alone. Tell us where to go. Y'all got guts, that's for sure. Let me tell you.
I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'll let you down there. If you guys did enjoy this episode, please go ahead and
It would be wise to rest up before we set out. In that case, let's find a spot to make camp.
The hunters are really out in full force around here, huh?
So they're the new Crown's Guard or something?
Similar, though technically a civilian outfit.
They've definitely seen a lot more action than we have.
Is it cool that we rock Crown's Guard outfits?
Be worse not to. They made them especially for us.
Even got a sweet insignia on them.
In the Crown's Guard, your attire identifies you, so wear it with pride.
It begins with a spark, a flash of light.
And here we
Disguise, or mod for short, how convenient, introduces a complex new impersonation system that will allow your character to pose as a member of just about any faction, provided you're wearing their armor convincingly. Now, assuming you have suited up appropriately, it will become possible for the Dragonborn to walk right past some of Skyrim's fiercest villains and hide from them in plain sight, tricking your foes into believing you're one of them. Whether you're attempting to sneak up on a specific bandit chief to complete a quest, looking to rob some vampire's blind, or just want to pass through an area without getting your hands dirty, Master of Disguise opens up a whole array of possibilities. However, simply throwing on the right armor set typically won't always be enough. The mod relies on a number of new mechanics and considerations that will decide whether or not the NPCs are trying to play with the logic established by the Elder Scrolls, and nothing comes across as realistic or immersion-breaking. If you're wondering whether or not the disguise is going to work, chances are you can just depend on your common sense. Master of Disguise is not compatible with factions added into the game via other mods, for obvious reasons. However, it affects literally every faction in the vanilla game and its two DLCs. From Penitence Oculatus to the Vigilance of Stendarr. There's a few more mechanics and systems that mod introduces, which I would love to cover, and enhance this already incredible new element of gameplay. But I need to spend a whole video on it. So instead, I recommend you check out the mod page. There's detailed guide to do that. Next on our list is not one, but two mods that overhaul visually guys, better vampires and better vampire NPCs by Recon and 2. Together, these mods radically improve the element of the game. I always leave Bethesda getting just a bit more love. The first mod, Better Vampires, focuses on revamping your own experience with vampires, establishing yet highly customizable objectives for progression, and actually blessing is message. Now progression is dictated not by time passed, but how many victims have been set up. Against physical life is greatly exaggerated. You have moved slowly and dedicated to help your generators at the same time. When it's done, you're more agile and faster to adjust. Furthermore, 25 new high-quality magical abilities available to shows the great all-out bulk. I can't list them all, but some of my favorites is Alien Man, which allows you to follow the minds of others so they don't ever do that here. It's especially useful at higher levels when everyone's going to want to murder you to death. There's also Bloodborne, a ward that protects against magical attacks, but depletes your health rather than magic. The Flames of Coldheart, available only to the most advanced of bloodsuckers, build both the health and magic health. Plus have the added bonus of causing wolves to flee in terror, while frenzying the undead. Again, there's 23 additional spells. Most are just as creative and come with unique assets and effects. Finally, Feeding Assistant will allow you to turn the victims of your fight into vampires themselves, or even your own personal thralls and vampire capital. And no, not even essential characters per se. So, be mindful of potential consequences this may lead to on your sword. This creation really does force your vampires to become the center of any given playthrough, rather than just a side mechanic. The other mod, Better Vampire NPCs, is meant as a companion mod to its predecessor, and effectively diversifies and strengthens the various non-playable vampires we'll encounter, increasing their spawn pool, the types of equipment and spells they'll use, as well as upping their level cap to scale with the player up to 130. The result is AI vampires becoming more challenging foes, yet useful allies. Dead vampires will now also drop a unique mineral, blood gems. which can be worked to create a powerful new class of blood glass weapons. That's right, there's even new items as well. Combined, Recon 2's Overhaul to the Undead is a must-try for anyone getting ready for another Dawn Guard DLC playthrough, or just looking to become a vampire again. It's available for both Sky versions on PC, and yes, that's right, the Xbox One as well. Coming at number 3 is actually a mod I touched upon about a year ago in a video showcasing some horror-themed mods. And it's, in my opinion, among the most underrated files ever uploaded to the Nexus. This is Dark End. Dark End is a DLC
So far, now I can walk.
that begins
Our
after
friends at the
rediscovering
upper end didn't prepare us for this.
Pretend you're walking
which
to the
leads
car.
us to a strange portal. Once we've entered, we'll find ourselves in a new setting, the eerie Isles of Valos. It'll be up to us to investigate this spooky new world and find our way back home. While Dark End certainly offers a story and lore, the mod doesn't feature a main quest line, or any quests for that matter.
It's rude to keep a girl
Instead,
waiting.
the narrative and player objectives are communicated through a combination of atmospheric storytelling and journal entries scattered across the island. There's also not much dialogue either. Where the mod is set isn't home to any actual living people,
realize that's
at least
sarcasm.
not anymore,
That
which
explains
is
the
an attribute that gives us goosebumps.
Awesome in every
Valos
sense.
itself is an interesting place. The cluster of islands clearly was once home to thriving communities and industry. But something's changed. Now their only inhabitants are horrifying creatures, and what remains of a once booming civilization. Assuming we pay attention to the environments and various notes left behind by old residents, we'll begin to piece together clues of the terrifying fate that befell this land some time ago. Dark End takes some major inspiration from the Dark Souls and Demon Souls franchises, emphasizing a horror-filled experience that's conveyed not through easy pop-ups, but instead chilling atmospheres and unsettling scenes. Taking another cue from the same genre, a major component of Dark End are the possible corruption. While the boss features an assortment of new, disgusting, and creepy underage, the boss battles are the major focal point of the series. Many boast custom assets, and they'll be your biggest obstacle in navigating this new realm. Personally, the mod kept me busy for around 5 hours at my first go, though admittedly I'm quite a completionist who felt the need to explore everything, and spent some extra time recording, so I'd imagine your results will likely vary. For what it's worth, Valos' islands themselves have a collective landmass that's somewhere around the size of a typical Skyrim hold, not factoring in interior cells and whatnot. So, if you're interested in spending a good few hours with butterflies in your stomach, and have a fun this is absolutely the project. Worth checking out. More fully fun. One Skyrim's coolest, but infinite mechanics is its burial system with a name that's not a dog, with a prosperous town such as Lightguard, Longguard, and Wickham, within the catacombs of the a coffin or burial urn was brought in with their name on it, and will contain the contents of the if you have to say. It's an idea that seemingly exists just to be emergency, which is good enough for me. However, unfortunately, that does impact all of Skyrim's cities and villages. In fact, only Whitehall, Victory, Markarth, Wickham, and Solitude have catacombs and holes where the dead go. In other smaller locations like Roystead, or even a whole capital like Dawnstar, the dead simply despawn, and that's the end of their tale. No burial for them. Well, Bring Out Your Dead by Ardmore is a mod that seeks to remedy this problem. It creates new graveyards and tombs, and expands upon existing ones to ensure that every named NPC in the entire game that isn't perpetually essential has a place to go after they kick the
Guys, we got a
like Roystead and Victory, allow people their own graveyards that will fill in as their citizens check out, with their tombstones acting as the gear, or entire inventory at the time of death. Cities such as Aldridge and Warsaw, which already had graveyards and tombstones they had been doing, will now see them put to use. Dawnstar, and Brownsville Capital have now been given their own respective tombs. And with a very single named area for small benefits to max, though they'll just have their dead of the other projects shown off today, but it's a nifty little mod that, after downloading, I see no reason to ever disable. And finally, last but not least, I've said before that I've never been a big fan of Skyrim's player home mods. However, recently I've sort of been coming around, and that's been reflected in a few videos. And that's especially thanks to creative mods like these. This is Wizard's Well by Hang Projects. It introduces a new, magical, and unique player home, geared towards players that have a love for the arcane arts. Unlike other player home mods, which typically occupy vast stretches of land, Wizard's Well is far more modest in how much space it takes up. That is to say, not much at all, as it's not a house, but a well. You simply jump right in. In fact, you can enter through one of 3 different wells. There's one in Winterhold, another in Riften, and one in Barnard. They all lead to the same place, so no need to be picky. It's actually quite convenient. Though despite being humble in the amount of land it takes up above ground, Wizard's Well has an impressive size.
I'm gonna do all these hunting quests first.
Fantastically lit, almost alien environment. Near where the Dragonborn first spawns in will be an outdoor blacksmith set, allowing you to create any type of weapon or armor you're after. And just a short walk away will be a staircase. Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Nate here, and welcome back to another episode of Immersive Skyrim Mods, the series that has sort of become a staple on the channel, where we take a look at a handful of typically new-ish mods that I've been playing for the next. It's been nearly a month since the last trip into the mod community. It's been an impressive amount of content to do. And I've also found a couple of slightly older mods that I've totally fallen in love with. Starting off, the Cold Skyrim's introduction sequence, iconic, would be a tremendous understatement. A thankful boat ride to the city of Alabama, which, succeeding where the player's life comes to a conclusion, instead ends in a surprise of flames and fury. As the dragon algorithm then interrupts the proceedings to come, find the shocking escape instead of the entire block. After your 11 playthroughs, you might not find this sequence so funny or inspiring. And you may finally engage a bit sick of this 15-minute plus episode, and just want to jump right into the game without the barriers. Well, introducing Realm of Potion, Freeform Ultimate Start by Queen Brothers. What this mod does is pretty easy to explain, but difficult to do justice to as by the usually amazing. Allows you to push your ship after and not in introduction. And now, with starting a new day, players won't wake up on a wrong paradigm, but instead, you'll awaken to the majestic Realm of Wargate, an amazing mystical plane of wisdom. We will make your character, and then you will create all sorts of items that you more intimidate yourself. While you'll need complete control over how you play the game, and what kind of person you enter Skyrim as. On the pre-selected Divine Collection, pick one of the singular guardian stones, and you'll interact with demonstrating a handful of supernatural abilities. It shows them certain goods, potions, and armor to both the good. On top of that, you want the training to level up those skills. So, make no mistake, you're not just going to jump straight into Skyrim with a full set of dangerous armor and every single skill maxed out. You can only spend 500 points, which sounds like a lot, but really isn't, especially considering you're starting to time. Also really getting value is maybe a few levels in the trainer, or a handful of potions with weaponry tools, or maybe a set of skill armor. Just don't really jump into Skyrim and once you explore all the realm of Morgan has to offer, and to customize your character to your liking, you can approach one of the local yes. This is a where you can spawn from a high drawn car, I run Alpine, Riverwood, Blackwood. You can jump in virtually anywhere in the game. You can start your game as fast as you like and how you like. Some viewers are probably already recognized woman by the name of Cordana Polo. She claims to have sailed all across Tamriel, collecting artifacts and items from, every province, and is excited to share them with you. Well, for a price, of course. In total, Captain Apollo sells over 60 totally new, unique items, with their own custom models and textures. Mostly miscellaneous objects and consumables, such as salt rice pottage from Whirlwind, or ancient crystal quartz from Indeed. Don't forget the unfamiliar board games from the Iliac Bay. All of these things, and so many more, are now available, each coming from various parts of the exotic world beyond Skyrim. However, between all of the miscellaneous furniture pieces and things you can eat, there are also dozens of new weapons, and even a couple of outfits you can buy. Of course, all of these new items are going to be featured in upcoming Beyond Skyrim releases, and the team is using this mod as an outlet to tease what's coming, and showing off what they've already made. Additionally, I must mention, the merchant character has over 100 lines of fully voiced dialogue, and she doesn't just bring goods from her exotic adventures across Tamriel and beyond. She also brings with her a wide variety of stories and tales from each of the provinces, no doubt foreshadowing some of the upcoming Beyond Skyrim storylines.
An old sailor once told me about a captain who claimed to have been to Athora. Was never off the drink afterwards, whimpering about a sunken ship and what have you. With a pot of bronze relief near Idfil's barrow. Perhaps it was meant as a tribute to Isgramor's fallen son. It depicts a long-boated sea. Was it escaping the cold or just seeking a path to Tamriel?
Seems we found what we were looking for.
So, whether you're just looking to populate your game with more items, or trying to get a sneak peek at what the future more of Beyond Skyrim is set to do, Where the Tamriel is absolutely a must download. Coming into the business, we just got a taste of Beyond Skyrim. But now, we'll be going beyond the Elven Scrolls, with Arctic and Dark Roads by John Scott. This mod introduces the roads of Arctic and Dark from the World of Warcraft into the Elven Scrolls by Skyrim. Now, I'll be totally honest, I've never actually played World of Warcraft in my entire life. I'm completely unfamiliar with the character or the franchise. But my god, if the armor set doesn't look amazing. Available in both 4 and 2K resolutions, it graphics and sky-coast light, with both red and blue middle, and not requiring any silver glass. It's really just getting hands on the stack from the get-go. The models are nothing short of extraordinary, and I'm not solely underlying the model. We still had architectural issues, and worked well on updating the volume. There's not much more to say about these physical wondrous ways. Next time you look at the red, make sure you see how to make the guards know to the front. Welcome to Bigwood Island, home of the Sun Elves, by Bill Evans. This island is trustworthy to be a small island that offers some socialization with lots of historical legends to recall. Bigwood Island is home to an isolated civilization epic, the Sun, or the Sun Elves. The Sun is one of the large, peaceful society. Crazy outsiders, but most of these exist and continue to go with their food. All benefits, or at least the average, this week things are getting more than banditry coming more time, and the rumor has it that the countryside knows they can protect us. As a good guy, the legendary Dark Force Dr. Cynthia was, and he kept the way it was. Not just for everyone in Texas, but
watch
all
yourself.
of all that you have been doing, keep that from happening. Overall, this storyline offers a lot of pleasure. Plus, there are 21 side quests available throughout the
Let's put it out of its misery.
The entire island is all the new the world space offered
I'm dying
is
of
probably
thirst
the
here.
size
I'm
of
starving
two
to death.
Skyrim homes.
And yet we're all very
That
much
said,
alive.
it is jam-packed with content. So many mods that introduce us to new lands often are filled with empty space. Not Midwood. There's various human settlements, bandit encampments, dwarven ruins, underground dungeons. There's a lot to do here. There's new items, including 5 new custom weapons, custom armor textures, new pieces of jewelry. On top of that, 2 new shouts and 8 new spells have been added in. Oh, yeah, and there's even a player home unlocked via side quest that can be upgraded. I originally first heard of Midwood back when it released in August of 2019. Mind you, the overwhelming majority of this project was created by that single developer, Will Evans. At the time of its initial release, I really decided this wasn't something I wanted to feature on the channel. I was frustrated by a couple of bugs, and the fact that none of the principal characters in the storyline were voice acted made it very difficult for me to be immersed. However, all of that changed in January of 2020, when the mod received a major update, patching much of the bugs and fully voice acting the entire game. Since then, my opinion on this project has completely reversed, and I love it to death. In fact, I actually enjoyed the main quest line significantly. It's not exactly one that's going to be driven by voices. It's a very linear experience of story being told to you, but it's a good story. One I thought was very creative. And in the process of making this video, I actually looked at some of the reviews and posts over on Reddit and the Nexus. And it seems like I'm not alone. The general community consensus appears to be that Midwood offers an excellent and has built a solution. I give you bandit and civil war economies. Now, these are actually 2 separate mods. Bandit economy is its own thing, and civil war economy is its own thing. But they're meant to be used together, and effectively do the same
The sun's colder today.
when
Yeah,
both are enabled,
getting
now
pretty
items
dark out
you
here.
sell to
Come on,
merchants
guys, let's
can
go find
actually
some
end up in the
wares.
hands of
Let's hit up the
bandits
shop.
and soldiers on either side. No matter, bandit and civil war economies offer an interesting concept that, despite their flaws, I still find to be radically superior to the default experience. So, it goes without saying, considering the fact it's on this video and I've already given it so much praise, I absolutely recommend giving these mods a try.
So unfair.
And with that, we are going to wrap up our 14th episode of Immersive Skyrim Mods. By Talos,
Wait. There's range like PS5? Right, and you're...
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Dave here.
Morning.
But you know what won't be for very long? 2019. That's right, the year and with DLC-sized creations were produced alongside a plethora of incredibly impressive, more humble projects. As has become a sort of tradition over on this channel, we're going to be spending today taking a look at 5 of the best.
She's
Now,
almost too
like
cool
with
for
any
love.
year, it's still incredibly difficult to pick a measly 5 mods out of the hundreds upon hundreds of noteworthy projects. But we're going to try to do that anyway. This year my criteria is fairly simple. It's the mods that I just personally like the most. Anyway, without further ado, let's do further. We'll be starting off today with an expansion-sized mod created by a team of longtime fans of the channel, though I'm pretty much in love with. Carved Brick by Hang Projects. Released in March of 2019,
not at all.
I actually gave this mod its own video back when it first dropped, which is something I rarely do. So, you know this was a favorite mod. Carved
Y'all
Brick
wouldn't
sends
mind
the Dragon
giving that
Lord
to the
into a
owner?
strange
That'd be
subplane of
swell.
oblivion,
Grandpa,
known as
kid.
the Faceted Stones. To search for mysterious
She's all
conjurers
polished
and
out
musicians,
and ready for the
your
road.
journey will introduce you to a variety of new and stunning environments, a whole assortment of really unique quests, and a cast of intriguing characters. Including one particularly hilarious talking casino. While your main objective here is to discover the whereabouts of that missing mage, you'll quickly become immersed in a full assortment of other narratives surrounding the mysterious realm that is the Faceted Stones. And on top of the sort of primary quest line, there are some side quests that will help you uncover more about the lore behind this land. Altogether, expect to spend between 3 to 5 hours conquering Carved Brick, depending on how much of a completionist you feel like being. It's very difficult for me to measure the exact size of all of the new world space created, largely because the maps are in many ways not necessarily 2D, like they stack up vertically too. But if I had to guess, I'd say you've got maybe a couple of black reaches worth of content here. If I had to describe this mod in a single word, creative would be it. The world spaces we are given the chance to explore are nothing short of breathtaking. Utilizing new and old assets and some innovative lighting tricks, at times it feels like we're on alien planets. This creativity extends to the quests too. Rarely are we told to go here, kill X, report back for Y reward. But instead, the missions feel more akin to what we got back in Morrowind, where we're told to go out and actually look for things and piece together evidence, and it was very much its own game. Its world size was around 3/4 that of Skyrim. There was around 30 to 100 hours worth of content, depending on how many side quests you were interested in, and then they're all boasted its own assortment of talented, professional-grade voice actors. It was humongous. Well, just this year, in February, the developers released Forgotten Stories, a DLC for Enderall, offering a variety of new quests, characters, items, classes, and even mechanics. Years later, Forgotten Stories contains much of the content the developers wanted to add to the original mod, but couldn't due to time limitations. Uniquely, Forgotten Stories is a bit unlike Dawnguard or Dragonborn, or more traditional Bethesda DLC, where it just sort of tacks on content. Instead, Forgotten Stories also introduces changes to the game's own main quest line, and injects new content in some ways that a new playthrough will be necessary to experience. Altogether, just completing the new side quests and visiting the new locations alone should run you about 12 hours. But chances are you're going to get a lot more fun than that, given the mentioned mechanical changes and its encouragement of restarts. As a whole, Forgotten Stories is an amazing experience that easily warrants a reinstall of the mod it's based upon. Or, if you've never tried Enderall before, it represents the perfect opportunity to begin. Coming in at number 3, we have a mod that isn't quite like any of the others we've shown up to now. In a bit, that it's not really an expansion. Like, it's not adding in any new lands, quests, or items. Instead, it's a purely technical work. Introducing iEquip. By the I not be introducing any new entire quest lines or taking us to foreign lands, iEquip certainly is a mod that still deserves your
I think I better
attention.
square my own wheels.
Welcome to Bear Country. The mountains are the forests come alive.
For fourth spot, Winter Sun, Faith of Skyrim by Nate Sion,